So we're in Silver Lake on Sunset at a recently completed project where we were called out to perform structural repairs on the framing system for the roof of this building. Hi, I'm Aaron Rusnak. I'm the Vice President of Development here at Alpha Structural. And we were called out to this building to essentially look at damaged bow truss framing. A bow truss system essentially is a series of framing members that are designed in the shape of a bow, like a bow and arrow, where it's designed to span larger open areas so that you can have an open warehouse, you can have an open space. It's a lightweight roofing system that supports large open spans. The bottom framing element is under significant tension. And unfortunately, if it's damaged, it needs to be repaired. So initially we were called out because there was damage in the framing, in which we initially saw 7 different locations that were damaged. What happens is there's a lot of weight that's being placed on this roof framing system, and the framing actually broke apart. And you can see that there were splits and fractures in the framing that was actually supporting the roof system. The problem was there was so much old ceiling material that was left in place and added, likely from tenants ages past, multiple layers of it, that added a significant amount of weight to this framing system that it was not originally designed to support. So once we removed, or the framing system was removed, we were actually able to get a much closer look at the framing. We actually found there were 12 additional locations that were fractured and splintered. And honestly, the roof was nearing the end of its lifespan. In the process of doing the engineering and design for the repair, we had an earthquake. After the earthquake, we noticed that the damage essentially doubled in the framing, and we realized we needed to speed up the handling. So we got the plans through, got them approved, and immediately got shoring installed onto the roof system to be able to support it. So the first step that we had to do was we had to design the handling. We had to engineer the correct repair that was needed for this building. And part of that was diagnosing exactly what needed to get fixed, which framing members needed to be repaired, what needed to be replaced. To do a repair on this particular project is going to be significantly more economical than replacing the entire roof system. And to do that, it requires specific engineering, site-specific, for what is actually wrong with the building, which our team was capable of designing, diagnosing, engineering, and then ultimately what we put into effect as the repair, which you can see here. This is the bow truss system. As you can see on the bottom portion here, this is new framing that's been installed. One of the vital portions, as I mentioned, was the shoring. There's a lot of different framing and a lot of different elements that come together and rest upon this bottom portion of the bow truss system. We have tension cables. We have vertical supports which come down and sit on this. We have various cross bracing that's installed as part of the original design of the bow truss system, all resting on the bottom elements of this bow truss system. That has to get taken into account when you install your shoring system. Because this bow truss system is under tension, it needs to be properly supported when you're going to remove the bottom framing element of this bow truss. Come with me this way. As you can see, this is one of the original anchoring strap systems. This is original steel. It needed to get de-rusted, de-corroded, which we were able to take apart, address, and reinstall. This framing here is supporting the entire roof system. And as it comes over here towards the end, you can see here it sits on the original masonry brick wall. So here's where the framing meets the wall. It's sitting in a pocket that's in this brick masonry wall, and the framing is partially embedded into the brick, as well as these steel anchoring systems that tie the roof framing into the brick. It's part of the original design. This is where we wanted to get innovative because we didn't want to address the older brick masonry walls. We wanted to address a specific issue with the roof framing, and that's what we were able to do. We designed a system where we were able to take the existing anchoring and install the new framing and essentially bypass having to disassemble the brick wall and having to disassemble the entire anchoring system. But we were able to simply connect to it and address what we needed to address to actually make this building safe again. So there's a series of these different bow truss elements that run the entire width of the building. We're here standing at the first one, and as you can see, New framing was installed all the way down across this portion here. This specific area needed to be addressed. It needed to be shored. Part of it was disassembling the tension cables, shoring up the vertical supports, shoring up the angled supports. It was tricky. It needed to get figured out. And as you can see, as it comes through, it's interconnected as well with the second bow truss system over here, which essentially had to get replaced almost in full along the bottom portion of the bow truss framing. This area here needed to as well get separately shored in addition to what was happening on the other side, because it's, as you can see, interconnected with each other, which extends further down over here. This framing as well needed to get replaced. The anchoring systems detached, the roof shored, the framing removed, replaced, and installed. Having the design for the shoring is vital because you can't just start removing elements and expect the building to be secure. So the design not only is for the framing itself, but how the building is shored and how the actual framing is addressed is crucial. And that's part of our workout that we do. Thanks for coming along on the project walkthrough. If you own a commercial or industrial building and are noticing any signs of structural stress, or you just want to be proactive, give Alpha Structural a call. We're happy to come out and take a look. Alpha Structural specializes in handling anything that's a structural issue. This goes for retaining walls, landslides, structural framing, foundation replacement, hillside issues, you name it, we can address it, we can fix it. For more walkthroughs like this, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell for any notifications.